This radio show might make you cry, will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
You broke something already.
30 seconds in.
Okay, hey, welcome to 3-6 Nation Radio. I am your host, Monica D. Livingston, leader of the 3-6 Nation, and my trusted friend right here, Ivan. Ivan Inspired. Ivan,
really good.
The Rant Man.
I
Ivan, my
slept
friend. Did you?
For 5 days over Thanksgiving.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out why that's okay.
And I did it on purpose. I slept for an hour and then I woke up. I took a nap. I took like a little sip of something and went back to sleep. It was lovely. It was fantastic. But at the end of this, my inspiration, it bubbled up. It refilled itself.
Okay.
I am ready to attack the world.
Oh,
yeah.
That's all it took. 5 days of sleep.
5 days of sleep, and we're gonna rock.
So who cooked for Thanksgiving? Did you cook?
I did cook. I made duck for me and my partner. She doesn't like turkey.
Okay.
So I made duck.
I don't like turkey either. You know, I think
You're
turkey is
allowed.
like, it's just a thing. It's so overrated. The only time they sell turkey is during Thanksgiving.
It's only during
Nobody
or
goes
deli
in.
slices.
You're never sitting around going, you know what I want? I want a full turkey.
Boy,
I mean,
hold
like,
on.
that's what I want. It never happens.
For Sunday dinner?
No,
No?
it doesn't happen. So that's the industry, just like everything else. All right, so listen.
Like the heart chocolates, the
It's-
box of hearts.
It's hot as Satan's
Yesterday.
in here and today. And I'm apologizing. First off, let me apologize that we started a little late. The traffic is it's crazy out there. I guess they're lighting the tree tonight. You excited about that? Okay.
Is not everyone excited about the tree?
No, I'm not at all because I was late and I don't like
Fair,
to be late
fair.
and now I feel rushed and I'm not set up and all that kind of good stuff. But I am happy to be here. And let's do this. I see some of our guests are coming in. Let's go to a commercial break. We're going to come back. We'll do some news. We got a community segment with Jen Welter. I'm excited about this. Jen is the first female coach to coach in the NFL.
Yes.
She was hired with the Arizona Cardinals in 2015, and she's a trailblazer. She has a new book out called Play Big, and it's selling off the charts. She's on this tour. She has been on USA Today, Sports Illustrated, Good Morning America, TMZ, NPR, and now 3-6 Nation Radio. That's what I'm talking about. That's
She's
how we
working
do.
her way up.
That's
is
how
what
we
it
do.
is.
I know. That's what I told her. She called me. I was like, I don't know if I can fit you in. I'm going to see what I can do, though. But so anyway, this 3-6 Nation Radio. We'll be right back after this.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service.
We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all
champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk.
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
Together.
We win together.
If you can play,
You can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
Hey everybody, do you need a realtor? Lorenzo M. Wooten Jr. is a senior associate with Marcus and Millichap in Bethesda, Maryland. His specialty is multifamily investment sales in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Previously, Lorenzo served as managing director with Keller Williams Commercial and team leader of the Wooten Group. The Wooten Group brokered over $32 million in commercial real estate sales and lease from 2015 to 2017. These sales results have made this group one of the top commercial sales teams in Prince George's County. The Wooten Group has successfully represented national companies such as D1 Sports and Fitness, Sky Zone, and local clients such as Keller Williams Preferred Properties, Metropolitan Baptist Church, Mount Sinai Baptist Church, Lennar Homes, and numerous other businesses and property owners. Call Lorenzo Wooten for your property and sales rental needs today at 202-731-1365.
All right. We got news.
We've got news.
That's tons of news.
There's so much happening. I thought things would slow down. We would get used to the world, and then, one story a day.
People just run out here, everybody just touching everybody.
They're lost there.
Okay, they
Goddamn
just
minds.
buying sex toys, they just
Matt
grabbing
Lauer?
people. I mean, Matt?
Tom
Not
Hanks is
Matt Lauer.
next, I
Not
guess.
Matt Lauer.
It's not. I'm sorry, Tom. I love you. I'm love you,
Who
Tom.
would even care if it was Tom
It's
Hanks?
over. It's over. The world.
God,
Let me ask you a question. Let's
Hold
do
on,
this
let's see
correct.
this. Is Jeff on the phone? We have Jeff joining us for a new segment. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, listen, everybody. If you guys are watching, this is Jeff, my friend Jeff.
Hey,
and
Jeff.
We're calling this segment Jeff the Republican.
Oh, fantastic.
Jeff the Republican joins 3-6 Nation News. Yes.
Jeff, how you doing today?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
We have I have Republican friends. I do. I don't always know why, but I do. So anyway, Jeff, Ivan's got a story for us. We're talking about exactly the same thing you wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about all the sexual abuse. We're going to let Ivan take the lead on this, and then we'll get your reaction, and you can weigh in also. Take it away, Ivan.
In case you weren't aware of what is happening outside of your door, every person in the news has been accused of some sort of sexual harassment. Today we're going to focus on the political spectrum because Hollywood and industry and education and everything else can hold off till next week.
What they can't see is that I'm touching your leg right now. Are you mad, Ivan? We're both getting in trouble.
I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to save it.
How you get fired from your show? Okay. Good.
I'm sorry, I'm done. All right, here's the thing. Senator Al Franken, and I want to talk about Senator Al Franken very specifically because there are a lot of people who this is affecting, but I think no one is in a better position for us to dive into this story than Al Franken.
All right, talk about it.
All right? Al Franken was accused several times by several different people of being sexually inappropriate.
Right.
First time that we hear about, there was a USO tour back in 2009.
Yep.
This was before he was a senator.
Right.
There was an instance.
He was a comedian still.
As a
at the time.
comedian,
Yep.
there was an instance after 2009 when he was a senator.
Right.
Where he's accused of a little squirt underneath the table.
Did you say squirt?
Squish. I don't know what the word is. Anyway, there was some inappropriate touching, fondling, handling, groping. There are tons of stories. His response is, I am so sorry if I offended anyone.
Right.
That might have happened.
He couldn't remember some of it.
He can't remember. He can't. There's a lot of...
He's old, though. He's old.
He's an old person
He's
who has
old.
done a lot of hugs, and there have been a lot of things
Right.
in the past 10 years.
Do you remember everybody you've ever groped?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay. All right. So,
if it happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'll give a plug for old people.
Thanks, Jeff.
So my question on this is, now the problem with Al Franken is that he is having this hedged position, right?
Sure.
He is not going to resign.
Right.
He's not stepping down from his leadership position.
Right, he
He
said
also
no.
admits that there might have been a line that was overstepped, but he doesn't want to go anywhere with this.
Sure.
Where do we, as a country, where do we draw the line? What is that line? And then where do we go from there?
Okay, so it's an interesting question, and I've been battling this, it's back and forth in my mind, because there's something to be said for the fact that in a society where traditionally we have these gender norms, the gender norm is that a guy, if you're in a traditional heterosexual relationship, he makes the move. Right? That's just been how things have been. That's the gender norm. So sometimes you don't know if you've crossed the line until you try, right? Because if you don't make a move, if you don't say to her, if you don't reach across the table, if you don't take her in your arm, it may never happen. And she's waiting on you possibly to do that. So I think sometimes some of these guys may not know
They
where
don't
the
know
line
what they're
is.
doing.
Right. Now, here's where the line is, to answer your question.
Okay.
The line is as soon as she says, oh, hell no. Okay, right? As soon as she says no, as soon as she rebukes you, as soon as she says, what are you doing? Get your hand off of my leg. Get your tongue out of my mouth. This is inappropriate. Then that's where it should die. And I say that to also say that I certainly do not believe, I just don't believe everybody that is coming out of the woodwork. I mean, at this point, I'm thinking Bill Cosby might have touched me too. I'm trying to,
Well,
is it a
that
time where
brings
I
up-
was like, Go ahead, Jeff, what'd you say?
And that brings up an interesting point. When you have people in power that are doing this, and when do people and they're afraid to say something about it. I think it's unfortunate that people in a position of power are using that position to basically sexually assault people and get away with it.
Absolutely 1,000% agree with you, Jeff. This is the most strongly I have agreed with a Republican since I voted for George Bush back in 2004. Whatever.
Oh.
Let me say, I believe that there is a difference between me or Jeff or
Right.
anybody else crossing a line and a person of power crossing a line.
Absolutely.
And the difference is power allows you to get away with it. As our president said, you're a celebrity. They let you do it. You
Right.
can just get away with it. There is no line.
And that's the other thing. Why are we upset? And what do we think is going to happen? The president of the United States has already said, hey, they let you grab. They let you do it. So now we're supposed to be surprised. And the thing is such a double standard. I don't understand where's the outcry about him. How come there's been this resurgence about talking about what he was accused of? Why can't we look at those tapes again? Like, he's literally, if I was him, I would stay out of it. But he's still tweeting.
Just stop talk.
Right.
Just don't talk.
Like, I wouldn't say
Probably-
anything.
probably a
I
good idea
wouldn't
for him
mention
not to say
sex. What'd you say, Jeff?
I think it's probably a good thing for him to stay out of it, but he won't.
Well, yeah, I know, but isn't that
It's like
supposed
Woody
to be
Allen
that's
coming out and saying, I hope there isn't a witch hunt.
But Jeff, just to bring this up, isn't Trump supposed to be your boy, or how are we feeling about him?
Trump?
Yeah.
Well, I voted for him.
You stuttering.
And,
You stuttering already.
I bet that surprises you. But, quite honestly, the reason I voted for him is because he's real. And like him or not like him, the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I think you can believe. I mean, whether you like it or not is another thing.
That's an interesting question, Jeff. An interesting comment.
Uh-oh. You got Ivan. If I get him, Ivan.
I don't believe anybody, okay? I am the most skeptical person I know, because I take somebody's statements and I grill them and I roast them alive and I want to see what's cooked, right? This president has said so many things that are just factually not true.
Right. That's the main thing. Factually, they are not true at all. And then you have to also think about all the, there's a racial divide in this country, and certainly it's not his fault that there is one, but there is this, it's almost like a permission slip that he has signed to say, hey, for people, you know what, you don't have to say this kind of stuff in the dark. You can actually say it out loud. And so, I'm a little concerned, and I don't want this to turn into a whole Trump thing. We could set aside an entire day for that because we have other things to do. It will take several days, but I find that, and I want you to think about this. Maybe we'll just do this, Jeff. Think about that statement, and let's revisit that next week in terms of what are things that he has said that you actually think are factual. And then I'll probably, look at some statements that he said and tell you why I find them very offensive.
Honestly, I don't necessarily mean that everything that he says is gospel or the truth. I guess my point is that I've seen so many politicians that basically tell you everything you want to hear, and to the point where do you really believe them? And so. He's not a politician. Yeah. He's a businessman thrust into the powerful position in the world. And I know he's said and done some of the dumbest things, but he isn't trained politically to tell you what you want to hear.
As a person who has been sued several times for fraud, I think he is trained to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
that's his bread and butter. He had a whole university that they didn't actually have classes.
I just find him offensive in so many. Can
I ask a question about Al Franken though? Because I want to agree with Jeff. I want to end this on it with agreeing with Jeff. I believe that this line should be drawn so much earlier than you did, Monica. Really? If a person says no, you have crossed the line so far. You are definitely beyond that line, because it takes a certain amount of, all right, is this okay? This is not okay. I don't think this is okay anymore. Okay, this is definitely not okay. Okay. I'm going to say something.
But I mean, I hear you. But what about being the one that's in charge in that relationship?
I have never had a problem. You know what?
We're talking about you. You got swag. You smooth. Obviously, some people are faulty out here.
Wait, no. There's a difference between crossing a line and saying something. If we're sitting down and we're having a romantic dinner,
sure,
all right, and I lean over,
right, come on,
right, at a certain point, like I'm meet me halfway here. Right, I'm hoping that there is something that is going on. If I see you on the street and I want to do a selfie, and so I squeeze your bum.
Right.
That is not a man making a gesture.
In perfect agreement with you. In absolute perfect agreement with you. My point was that I think that some of the time we've had these gender norms so long, and I think that we have to recreate those. We have to redefine those, because it's the same reason that guys also don't want to cry, right? So I'm not saying that it's an excuse. I'm saying that we need to examine these gender norms,
because they're there,
right, on various levels, so that we can start at an even base and teach people how to treat each other. We've literally forgotten how to treat each other. We literally, empathy has. It seems like it's gone out of the window. We're not showing empathy for our fellow just humans, and it was one of the reasons that I thought it was important to get Jeff on the phone. And because he is a Republican and he is a conservative, and that's okay, because I think we have to have dialogue in order to move the needle forward. And I can sit and talk to you and be super liberal by myself, and we can call them names and whatever, and his group can do that too. And then all we're going to do is keep doing that. And so, and I know you were in agreement with this. And so, Jeff, I also want to tell you that I really appreciate you being on the phone and stepping to the front. I have been looking, I literally put on Facebook, on social media, saying, we want a conservative. We want someone to come in. And nobody would show up. And they would say things in my comment section about things that I posted, but when it came time to come in the studio, it came time to call in, I couldn't find them. And right, you know, so and immediately, you know, you and I kind of got off to a rough start, and we quickly turned the corner there, and you're on here today, and so you're part of the change and part of the solution. And so even though I have no idea why you would vote for him, I thank you for being on the show today.
Well, yeah, and you know, and quite honestly, you know, in a perfect world, nobody would ever hurt anybody's feelings. Nobody would ever say anything that was stupid, but we all do. And it's part of building character, but not to the point of you know, making somebody feel bad.
Yeah.
You know, we all need to understand that we're human and we make mistakes. The problem is a lot of people don't realize that they're making those mistakes, and then we end up with a terrible situation. And so, you know, everybody needs to start considering everybody's feelings.
Absolutely.
Coming from a conservative, right?
Absolutely. And do me a favor, tweet your president and tell him to start first, and we'll all follow.
4 seconds.
God, I'd love
4
to
seconds.
have a 5-minute conversation with it. Just
do all Republicans get like direct access to the White House?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I wish.
Don't you, Jeff? Aren't you calling from the White House?
Oh, that's the secret. They can't. They got to kill you if you tell you.
All right, listen. Jen Welter just texted me or tried to call in. We're gonna go to commercial break right now. I'm gonna see if I can get her on the phone, and if not, Jeff will get you back on the phone. But this is 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
All right. Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up. Get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play,
You can play.
If you can play, you can play.
we are all champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
Together.
We win together.
If you can play,
You can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
Community Spotlight.
We are back here with Lorenzo M. Wooten Jr., CCIM. What does the CCIM stand for?
a certified commercial investment member. It's like an international designation for commercial real estate, like a master's degree.
He's got a master's in real estate. Lorenzo Wooten is a senior associate with Marcus and Millichap in Bethesda since 2017, August. He's specialty in multifamily investment sales in the Washington, D.C. metro area. But what is really interesting to me, sir, is that you combine this real estate side with community outreach development. Talk to me. What's going on?
Absolutely. So I have a passion for it. So passion for real estate and a passion in giving back to the community. So I'm a member of 100 Black Men of Prince George's County. Boom. All right. Cool. Thank you. Glad you approve. And so with that, we mentor young men in the county, young men and young women. And I just think it goes a long way. You know, it takes a village to raise kids, and there's a lot of kids that do not have that, you know, parental guidance that they should, and we can make an impact.
When we have this Washington, D.C. area, it's very bifurcated, right? There are places of have, and then there are places that have been forgotten.
Absolutely.
That's right.
How do we combine these two communities? I think real estate has a part of that, yeah?
Absolutely. I think it's access. You know, I was fortunate enough to come up in an environment, and Monica and I go back since knee high, that we had role models and people that say, hey, that's a reality. You know, if you're in an environment and you don't see anyone in a suit or think they can do commercial real estate, how does it become a reality? So, you know, being able to give back and just show a young kid that, hey, you can get into commercial real estate. You can make this amount of money. You can develop buildings. You can own a hotel. It doesn't seem real unless sometimes you meet that person.
Yeah,
so
and
I think that's how you bring
absolutely.
it together.
And I'll tell you a story about that right after I say this. So, yes, we have known each other since we were knee high. That's why I let Ivan do the introduction, because I didn't know what I might say. So my mother and Lorenzo, it's hard for me because growing up, I'm just going to tell you guys, we called him Malcolm. Okay, so Malcolm.
My middle name.
He hates that. And so I'm trying to have Lorenzo kind of roll off of my tongue. But as my mother said today when I told her that he was going to be on the show, she said, tell Malcolm I said hi and he need to call me. And I said, Mom, he likes Lorenzo now. And she said, oh, I don't care nothing about that. He going to be Malcolm. All right, I'm trying. But yeah, so he was my god brother is what we called it growing up. And then as we got into the professional world, we realized as we were talking in groups that god brother and god sister sounded at this age that was a little whatever. So then we came up with this scheme that we're gonna say we cousins, right?
That's my cousin.
That's my cousin. And so that's been working a lot better. But if we take it way back, he was my god brother first. I just want to let y'all know that. And you're exactly right that we did have role models where, you know, both of our parents went to college, and you know, my mom had master's degrees and the whole nine. So we got to see different things. And I will tell you that when we had the school, and you were helping us get a student housing when he was one of the homeless teenagers that we worked with, and I was asking the students all the time, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? We were just having reflective moments with them. And every single one of them, I'm talking about, we polled like 35 students in this reflective workforce development class. And barber, construction worker, rapper. That was it. There was nothing else at 35 young black men. And it's exactly for that reason, because the community, that's all you see.
Right.
You get your hair cut, you see barbers, it looks like it's a good time. You go in there, everybody's yakking up, you have fun. Construction is the work that we can get. Yep. So, you know, you don't wear your good Timbs, you wear your other ones, but you still get to work. And rapper, because hey, why not? Because that's the fast money. No one wanted to write down drug dealer, and they didn't need to. They were all doing that. That's why they went to that school. But my point is, you're exactly right that we have to have a more global representation of the men. And so I think what you're doing, I just want to applaud you for doing that, showing black men what the possibilities are.
Absolutely.
And that's great. But talk to me a little bit about investment in DC. Tell the viewers what's popping right now. Is it a good time to buy in DC? I know they should call you.
Right.
But for residential or commercial? What's the landscape that's going on right now in the District of Columbia?
Absolutely. Well, DC is an exciting time for many different reasons. I would say the DC metro area. I focus in commercial, so my specialty is commercial. If you want someone to buy a residential home, I have somebody for you, but my specialty is commercial, in particular apartment buildings.
He big time, y'all. That's translated to that. He don't do that no more.
I don't do one family. I do all the families.
All families. Big stuff. So, but it's exciting for our studying. Anytime you're going to make an investment, you want to study it like going to anything you're going to invest your money into.
Sure.
So I would say, yes, if you're buying a small apartment building or if you're buying a small retail center, it's a good time to buy and hold and get cash flow. That's the biggest form of people building wealth in this country. More millionaires are built from people of real estate than any other type of business.
I'm sorry. I have to pause.
What's that?
You just said 4 times in a row, and I didn't want to say anything because it breaks your flow. If you would like to own your own hotel or apartment building.
Yes.
What?
Yes. How do you do that? How do you make that happen?
People own. I mean, I assume that my landlord owns but like you're talking about like this is an accessible thing for people to buy.
Hotels. There's an association, a National Association of Black Hotel Owners, Operators, and Developers.
What?
NABHOOD. There's groups. And there are young blacks that are owning hotels, plural. Apartment buildings, plural. So it may have started with their first house.
Where do I get $4 million to invest?
You don't need $4 million. And guess what? You may need 6 figures, right?
Okay.
But then you get Monica.
Yeah.
You get your other friend.
Right.
You pull it together, you form an
Thursday night
LLC.
tea. He got
Anthony's
10,000
He's gonna
on
provide
it.
the tea.
There you go. And you form a group. Everyone discusses how much their return is going to be, and you pull that money together. That's how people have been
We
doing
need to
it for
talk off
decades.
camera. We're going to get us a Listen Vision Live
It doesn't all have to
hotel.
come from you. There you
36
go.
Nation owns their own block.
There you go.
And that is a misconception. Thanks for bringing that up because
Absolutely.
people are thinking that, in order to do that's not in my wheelhouse.
Right.
I've got to have all this money. And what I hear you clearly saying is it's in your wheelhouse.
It's in your wheelhouse. And I actually teach classes on this. So I've been a certified teacher with the Association for DC Realtors and Prince George's, how to get into commercial. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people in commercial real estate do not look like me, a minority. So it is like a good old boy network. You don't see a lot of diversity. And how do you get into this arena? So I've taught classes on it through those 2 associations. There's a lot of different tools you can get, books you can read. But yes, pulling your money together could be the first step.
Because I was thinking when you just said that, a lot of times you may not even know that it's a property. If you're talking about the good old boys network, you don't know if something is for sale.
Right.
A lot of times this stuff is there and then you drive by, it's empty. You come back, 2 weeks later and you see construction. There was no for sale sign or, so how do you find out about these investment opportunities?
Absolutely. So talking to a broker. So, that's my plug, my cheap plug, to call a commercial agent that is connected to the market and has access to listings. So access goes a long way. Networking, really building relationships. And once you own that property, my first investment property was my hardest.
Okay.
And then after that, it became a domino effect of owning other real estate.
Because you have the template for it.
You have
right?
the template for it. People see you as serious when you talk to lenders, you talk to other people. Now they know you are legitimate because you have at least that first one. Versus if I'm Joe Blow, never done anything, please help me. People really don't work that way.
Right.
If you can come with your ducks in a row or a team of people, you're going to be more credible.
So it's like everything else. Collaboration is the key to moving forward into success, right?
Yes.
So you make sure the people that you surround yourself with are movers and shakers. Otherwise, you're just going to be just shaking. I see this brochure here.
Yes.
You've gone through some changes in your career lately.
Yes.
Talk to us about the move, why you made it, and what's new with you.
Absolutely. So, my father, we know each other, and my father was in real estate. And I said as a kid, I'm never going to touch real estate. He's driving me around cutting grass on the weekends. I want to play basketball with you guys. And so it's in my blood. So I've worked at Fannie Mae for a couple of years in the early 2000s. And then I had this entrepreneurial bug as far as buying and renovating and flipping houses, which I still do. That's my other stream of income. But with that being said, I started off residential with Keller Williams in 2008. Crazy time to get into real estate, self-employed.
Right.
But that I knew I had a bug and I love math for commercial. 'Cause
Okay.
it's about the numbers, it's about the bottom line. So it wasn't easy, but I made that conversion and stopped doing residential and did commercial sales in 2011.
Okay.
And so since then, I was Keller Williams until August of this year.
Right.
And then I was recruited by this very large firm, a national firm, Marcus and Millichap.
Okay, they came
so
and
they
got
came
you.
and got me. They recruited
Yeah, right,
me. They
that's
recruited
right.
me. You know.
We need to
What-
talk to you, Lorenzo.
What did LeBron say? I'm taking my talents.
That's
to-
what he said. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was something like
LeBron.
that. So it was a great opportunity, a great firm. Keller Williams is awesome too. Still have some great relationships there. But here I grow into doing bigger deals and working with folks that are only commercial, where Keller Williams is mostly a residential
Right.
firm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good.
I got a
stuff.
question
Go
for you.
for it.
Yes, sir.
I was down in Benning, down Benning Road,
Okay.
by Langston Golf Course. You know
Yes.
what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I'd never played golf before. I wanted to teach myself. It was Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
So I went down the golf course. I took the trolley all the way to the end of the H line, got out, played around, and I was going to walk back up H Street. So I got to walk through this neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And there is this building that is broken down, abandoned, boarded up. I'm going to put a picture. I'll send it to you, Monica, after the show. But this building, on the front of it, it says "Feed the Poor." Somebody spray painted.
Okay.
Wow.
And outside of this building, I took a picture of it. And outside of these buildings, people were hanging out. And I do not look like I lived in this neighborhood. And I do not look like, and he's like, why are you taking pictures of like this? Like, what's going on?
Right.
And I told them, who I was and that I was upset about these things. And the first thing that came out of this man's mouth, his name was Jay. And
Just gonna
shout out
call
to
Jay
Jay.
out like that? Okay. Jay,
Jay looks at me and he says, how can we fix this? Will someone come and help us? I'm trying. What do we do when we have these holes in our city and people live there?
Right.
Is this for them to gather up and buy their block? Is this a massive flood of lawsuits against who and whom and everything? Like, what is the solution to fix this?
And let me tag on to that and hope you can follow both of the questions, because the other thing would be, are you allowed to do something, right? Like, talk to us a little bit about what the laws are. If the building is falling down and I live next to it, who should I call? Can I go over there and cut the grass? Can I board up the window? How do I get my money back? Is there a way to find who the owner is? So piggybacking on what Ivan said,
Absolutely.
What do we do?
So some of it gets into gentrification, right?
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of my business has been built with actually representing churches, and a lot of the churches are leaving DC and moving into Prince George's or surrounding areas. Their congregations leaving, parking's really bad,
Right.
a lot of different reasons. People are sometimes not happy about that because these historically black churches mostly are leaving the city, moving out, which ties into your question, like, someone's homeless, you have this building, it's dilapidated, people are coming building around it, but here people are suffering. So I think it's twofold. I think is one, it kind of reminds me like a Rick Ross song about buying back our block or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, people investing in their own community and pulling together to own and hold.
Okay.
If it's grandma's house, find out how you can hold on to it and you don't have to sell it from a residential piece. If it's investing, you don't have to buy into a neighborhood that's already fixed up. Go into a neighborhood that is, improving, that's, revitalizing, and then you can hold and help develop it. From a homeless standpoint in the community, I don't have all the answers, but giving back and working with the community can go a long way. But I think it's just a matter of that we just have to own more.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a big key, and then you can start to infect the community and do things.
Even with the projects that are there, not people who are homeless, but you have these sprawling boxes that people just live in.
Right. I mean, that's an interesting question. I mean, like you said, we're in a community where there's a lot of income growth.
Yeah.
But then if you go east of the river, it's some of the poorest parts of the city, if not the country. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, part of it is training and jobs. There's also an area where they say that's the area where you have the lowest level of education, lowest level of training. So
if you're interested in Job Corps, you can find me, ivanedward.dc at jobcorps@gmail.com. Job Corps will train you to get out.
That's gonna make them call right away. That little call that you just did. Now they're going to the Woodlawn location without that. So listen, that's fabulous. We gotta move on. Tell people how to get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Your social media, call you on your phone. I think the commercial that we did for you here, I think I put your cell phone number on there.
I think you did.
My bad.
That's all right.
Okay, I'll fix that. Okay, we'll do it. We'll edit that. That's the only number I had. Right.
But I have my social media sites, so Facebook, Lorenzo Wooten Jr. Also on, funny enough, on Instagram, Renzo Malcolm. I'm taking on the middle name.
All right.
But I'm at Marcus and Millichap, so you can reach him in my office, 202-536-3742. Love to talk to people about increasing wealth.
What was that number again?
202-536-3742.
It's a great number.
Perfect. Well, Lorenzo.
Yes.
Malcolm. Thank you for joining us. Anything coming up with some of the community stuff and the philanthropy that you're working on right now? Like what's coming up now? The Kappa's doing anything?
Absolutely. So I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated as well. So 100 Black Men, you can go to 100blackmenprincegeorges.com. I believe it's .org. You'll find it. There you go.
Right.
We have some events. We have a holiday event coming up. Kappa Alpha Psi does a lot of mentoring community service as well, and you can also go. I'm a part of the College Park Sandy Springs about our mentoring.
All right, busy man right here, busy man. And you sound like you got some coins too. We're gonna have to talk, cuz. Okay, you got little coins.
Listen, I got a real estate investment. I just need 4 friends. I just need 4 friends.
You ain't up here giving that advice and hadn't taken your own. Okay, so let me holler at you after this commercial. Okay, it's Lorenzo Wooten, this 36 Nation Radio, and we'll be right back in a minute.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play,
You can play.
If you can play, you can play.
we are all champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play.
Together.
We win together.
If you can play,
You can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
I love how USAA gives me the peace.
Yo,
We
yo,
are
yo.
back.
We back in the building. All right, so that was interesting. Look, that was informative.
I can't believe that is something that is actually doable for people.
Man,
Like, let's go buy a building, guys.
I'm getting ready to count my coins when I get home. That little piggy bank. I'm gonna empty every bit of that change.
How big is your piggy bank?
It's a nice size.
Okay.
Let me see how big yours is. Where are we going? All of a sudden,
It starts off
Took
with
a
Al
turn.
Franken, and
We
the next
took
thing
a
we
turn.
know, comparing piggy banks.
biggie piggy banks. So yeah, I'm gonna bring my piggy bank. You bring yours. See how much Anthony got his. Anthony, Thursday Night Tea is gonna be next. I know he got some coins on this. This brother is blowing out. He's touring and winning contests with his comedy flair. Yeah, I didn't think I would see him anymore. I didn't even know what was going to
This
happen.
is
man.
home, though.
So my point is, that's who we need to pull in.
Yeah,
with
family.
this. Yeah. Mhm.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna get us a hotel. Okay, so I want to do sports in a minute. We have a special treat for you guys for sports in a minute because I'm not going to do it. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. But I know you don't see Sean up here, but Jacob's got that under control. So it's 3-6 Nation. It's sports in a minute.
3-6 Nation, sports in a minute. College football coaching news dominating the sports landscape. Veteran NFL head coach and ESPN analyst Herm Edwards is in line to become the next head coach at Arizona State. Edwards spent 9 seasons as a player in the NFL, best known for recovering the fumble and scoring the deciding touchdown in the original Miracle in the Meadowlands. Edwards would replace Todd Graham in Tempe. Edwards last coached in 2008. Tennessee's head coaching search is down to Plan E after NC State's Dave Dorn turned down an offer to go to Knoxville. The 45-year-old became the latest candidate to turn down the Vols after they rescinded their offer to original target Greg Schiano. Next on Tennessee's list, recently fired Texas A&M coach Kevin Sumlin. And Florida State is telling head coach Jimbo Fisher to decide, stay with the Seminoles or go to Texas A&M. The Aggies are looking to make Jimbo Fisher a $7 million a year coach. In a sign-off you thought you'd never hear again, that's 3-6 Nation Sports in a Minute. I'm SWP.
Hey, that was Sean. Sean recorded that and sent that in. I like that at the end. It was a nice little surprise. At a what do you say? A sign off you'd never think you'd hear again. SWP. Sean is tearing it up. I don't know if you got to see the other night, but the Wizards played the Timberlakes, and so our local sports coverage was there, and they all met Sean, Steve Buckhands. They gave him a huge shout out live here. If you were watching the Wizards game, they cut to my man, and they were like, yeah, Sean is from D.C., graduated University of Maryland, and is now the PA announcer of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And so he was all on there. He was looking serious with the microphone.
I have never seen somebody so pleased at being serious.
Really, sporting his new bow tie.
Oh,
like,
man.
He is handling his business there. Sean, we miss you. We love you, but you're following your dream.
Proud of you.
Thank you for continuing to support us. And I'm going to get there and see you soon, man. So thank you. Listen, I'm going to let you talk a little more, but right now I want to plug the Black Fire Service Professionals of Alexandria. They have an annual Christmas toy party that's happening, and it is for the Alexandria's future leaders. It's December 23rd from 1 to 4 p.m., and it is at the Nanny J. Lee Memorial Recreation Center, and that is located at 1108 Jefferson Street in Alexandria, Virginia. Zip code, in case you want to put that in to get directions, is 22315. It's going to be a good time. Laughter, games, food, family, and fun. And so we want to make sure that we support the Black Fire Service Professionals of Alexandria. They're inviting you to this annual Christmas toy party. And so let's support them and make sure that all kids and everybody is having a good holiday season, and, bring toys. I'm sure they'll accept toys there as well. But I wanted to make sure that Pat, who was here last week, you couldn't come, sat in with me to help me out. He was going to come today also and do some cooking here because he's also a firefighter, but he thinks he can burn in the kitchen too. So that's the word on the street. And I was like, you got to prove it to me. You got to show me. And so he claims that he was stuck in some type of traffic. I think he got nervous with that microwave dish that he had planned for us. So yeah, I'm calling you out. But make sure we still support the Black Fire Service Professionals of Alexandria. So
Monica, my favorite thing about Christmas.
What is it?
Is that it's the one time of year where everybody goes out and does something nice.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say Christmas music.
No. Everybody, there's a toy drive or there's a food bank or people get that spirit within them.
Absolutely.
And that makes them feel good. And they're like, you know what, we're gonna take Junior and we're gonna go out and they do
cut
things.
down the tree and they hand out stuff. And yeah, it is. It's if we could, extend that kind of empathy and that kind of human kindness throughout the year, I think we'd have a better place and we'd have a different president too.
Let's start this Christmas.
Sorry, Jeff. We'll get Jeff back. No, he's not online. Yeah. Jeff had to go. Vote. I don't know, right? I'm going to leave Jeff alone. Jeff, again, thank you so much for being. We're going to wrap up here. You didn't get to do your rant, so I'm going to let you do the sign off.
All right.
Anything else that you want to say? It's yours tonight, buddy.
36 Nation Radio live coming at you. I just want to say two things. Number one, everything is going to be okay. We are in the middle of a information chaos. We are president saying things. Our CIA is doing things. The North Koreans just shot another missile. I am terrified. I want you all, look at me. It's going to be okay. All right. We're going to get through this together. I'm not going anywhere. Monica's here. 36 Nation is your nation. We're with you. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, we'll be here. It's 36 Nation Radio. We're out.
Peace.
This radio show might make you cry. Will probably make you angry. Will most assuredly make you laugh. And is guaranteed to make you think. 36 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot. No take is too cold. With Monica Livingston. 36 Nation Radio. In 3, 2, 1.